Lizardlea here for Christmas Minis Penguin. So that is this little guy. Little Stockings. There we go. So he's so cute. He's so tiny. I love him. Again, I don't have anything to add, so we're just gonna get to cross stitching. You know, once the sun really comes up. So it's 7 a.m. and it is overcast outside. Huh.
All right, so Holka came over yesterday and told me that my last video didn't have any sound, and I have already deleted all of the files for it, so I can't get it back. But I do still have the files for this one, and yeah, when I play the original audio file, I'm not hearing anything. My microphone wasn't on mute, and when I was so I always listen to it before I start recording. Like, I put in my headphones and I make sure it's playing, and I could hear it. So I don't know if the files got corrupted or what, but I'm redoing this one. I can't redo the other one because I don't have the files anymore. I'm sorry, but I can redo this one. I'm losing my voice, so it's not going to sound great, but it's whatever. Holka came over yesterday, and David, and I were playing Heads Up. And that game is so much fun. And I get really loud. And I talk a lot. So I lose my voice. Sorry. Alright, so I had to go back to the last video that did have sound so that I could find out where we last left off. And David and I left off on the Which Movie Sequel Do You Wish You Could Erase from History? So, 35. What would your perfect vacation entail? This is gonna suck because I just have to remember what I said like the other day when I recorded these. So the thing underneath it says mountains, beaches, or exotic lands. And what I think is that no matter where you go, you could make it into the perfect vacation. I don't think my perfect vacation is only in one specific place. I totally think I could have the perfect vacation in the mountains. I totally think I could have the perfect vacation at the beach. Like, it just depends on who I'm with, how the weather is, what kind of stuff is available to me while I'm there. And I can make it the perfect vacation. I don't know, maybe it's the military brat in me, but like, even if I go to a place where I'm not excited, I will find a way to enjoy myself and make it a special not education. Make it a special occasion. There we go. Make it a special occasion. I can speak English. All right, I'm going to pause the narration for a moment. Listen to this and make sure it's actually recording. So, un momento. Okay, I can definitely hear it on my end. So if there's no sound on YouTube, I'm going to be really annoyed. And I'm going to be really confused as to why it's not working. Moving along. 36. What's a great book you've read recently? So I haven't actually read a book in years. And it's not because I don't want to. It's just because I fall asleep a lot now. Like, I'll fall asleep watching a great movie or an awesome TV show with David. Like, I get really tired when I'm just sitting there. Especially reading a book, though. Because, like, I'm, like, moving my head very slightly, and it's quiet, so I just start to get sleepy, and my eyes get dry, and yeah. But I have been listening to audiobooks, if that counts. And if you guys want a good book recommendation for a standalone book, like not one in a series, Warbreaker by Brandon Sanderson is really good. And I highly recommend that one. It is, from what I've been told, one of his earlier books. So it's his writing style is good. Like, I really thoroughly enjoyed the book. But his writing style is infinitely better when it comes to Mistborn and Stormlight Archive. So, if you enjoy Warbreaker, you should definitely give Mistborn a chance. You should definitely give Stormlight Archive a chance. All of the ones that I've read by him so far, I've really enjoyed. And if you're still, again, okay with a series, the Dresden Files by Jim Butcher are my favorite book series of all time. Like, I think I can officially say Percy Jackson is number 2 now. Percy Jackson by Rick Riordan. And then number 3 is Pendragon by DJ McHale. So those are all series that I highly recommend. I love them very much. It's been a while since I read the other two. David started Pendragon. He got mostly through the second book and just was not enjoying it. So I was like, okay, fine, you can put it down. And he is on the second book of the Percy Jackson books. And he says he's enjoying it. I don't know. I mean, I hope he is, because, like, I love Greek mythology. So, but, yeah, I hate reading book series when they're not finished. But it's also really exciting. Like, at the beginning of the year, the only thing I was really looking forward to was, sorry, the beginning of, like, 2020, was Jim Butcher's books coming out. He had 2 books coming out, because it was originally going to be one, and then it was going to be so big that the price was going to jump really high. So he split it into 2 books. He released one in, like, August, and he released the other in, like, October, November, something like that. I could be wrong. But, you know, it was a few months apart. And it saved excuse me, it saved his customers some money, which I think is really, really nice. So, yeah, he's finished 17 books out of, I'm not sure how many. But Pendragon is done. There were 10 books. Percy Jackson is done. There were 10 books. Oh, you know what? Another book series by Rick Riordan I really enjoyed was the King Chronicles. It starts with the Red Pyramid, and it's Egyptian mythology. That one is also really interesting, and it's only 3 books. It's complete. So, if you're okay with a shorter series, that's a good one. I totally recommend. I keep yawning. This is probably gonna get posted after 9:30. Normally I try and have them up by 9:30, but yeah, there was no sound for whatever reason, because my stuff hates me. Anyways, 37. What's the one food you could never bring yourself to eat? Um, I don't want to eat cat or dog. If I if I have to choose between death or eating a cat, I will eat the cat. But if I don't have to, I really don't want to. Like, those are pets. I don't want to eat them. And, like, they've shown they can be so intelligent. And, like, I know that is stupid because I'm not a vegetarian. Like, I'll eat bacon and steak, and cows and pigs are incredibly intelligent. But I don't keep them as pets. I have had cats and dogs as pets, and it's just, I don't even want to imagine it. Like, I don't, I think I have tried veal. I didn't want to, but, like, I don't know, I could be wrong. But I feel like someone told me, someone didn't tell me it was veal. I took a bite, they told me it was veal, and then I was like, no, I'm not really comfortable with this. Like, I don't, like, I will say, I think if a baby animal dies of natural causes, I do think it's better to not be wasteful with it. But at the same time, like, how often is that going to happen? And how often am I going to have proof that that's what happened? Like, I know everybody is really against fur coats, and I kind of am too. But if that animal is dead either way, why waste the fur? You know what I mean? I don't think you should ever kill an animal just for the fur, unless, you're like living in the tundra and there's no way you're going to survive otherwise, in which case, good luck, bro. But yeah, like if it's going to be dead either way, and I hope it's being killed so that it can be like eaten or something, but like because its resources are needed, not because someone like wants to. Like, I don't want it to be a Cruella de Vil situation. You should not be killing those puppies to make a freaking coat. That is ridiculous. And by the way, I love Emma Stone. I am not interested in a live action Cruella de Vil movie unless she is as evil as she should be. Her name is Cruel Devil. Like, what the heck? I don't know what Disney's thinking. Like, Maleficent, I can understand trying to humanize her because in the Disney cartoon movie, like, yes, she put the entire town to sleep because she wasn't invited to a little baby's birthday party. That's really sad, and you are very spiteful, Maleficent. But she didn't kill anybody. She just put the town to sleep, or city, whatever. But Cruella de Vil wanted to skip 99 puppies and 2 adult dogs alive to make fur coats. And I am just so uncomfortable with that. Like, that will never be okay for me in any way. Like, that's just so... So I cussed and I needed to edit that out. So, my bad, but that is my opinion. It's no, you don't... They're puppies, dude. And then grown, healthy dogs that have a home. It really bothers me. And I love Emma Stone. But until someone tells me, like, yes, they demonize her and everyone in the movie hates her, I'm not going to even try and see the movie. Because if it was someone's job to try and make her sympathetic, I'm really sorry, and I hope they didn't kill themselves. Okay, I got way off track. I'm so sorry. 38. What's your dream job? We've been over this. It's my dream job. 39. Cake or pie? Cake. 40. Who is the kindest person you know? I've said this before. It's Holka. And I'm sure she'll disagree with me in the comments, but like literally everyone who knows the both of us will agree with me and say that it's her. So I win. 41. What fictional character do you wish you could meet? So one of the things I was discussing was if this person is pulled from the fictional world into ours, do they, like, if they're a magical person, do they keep those magical powers? Like, if I take Harry Dresden from his books, will he still be a wizard? Because that would be amazing. If I take Sailor Moon from her world, will she be able still to transform and do magical things? Like, that would be amazing. Although I do worry that if we get superpowered beings, will we get superpowered villains? Like, it's a little scary. I don't know about that one. But honestly, yeah, like there's so many anime characters. Edward Elric, that would be amazing. I would cry. And like any of the main characters from my books that I've read, that would be amazing. Anime, definitely. Like, there's so many people. It would be so cool. And even if they don't keep their superpowers, it would still be cool because, like Harry Dresden, for instance, his sense of humor is hilarious to me. So even if he can't do magic anymore, he would still be hilarious, and I will always take a moment for someone who makes me laugh. And he plays D&D, so we could do that. It doesn't, like, it has nothing to do, generally, with what he does in the books, but that is still something we can do in our world that he does in his. There's that crossover. And that'd be so cool. 42. What's the first thing you do when you get home from a trip? I try and unpack immediately. If I'm not too tired, the sooner it's done, the the less you have to worry about it. Like one of the things I discussed when I originally recorded this was my family. So I was raised in a military family. We moved a lot. As soon as our shipment arrived, to our new place, we would unpack everything right then and there. Like it was everything. The stuff in our rooms, the kitchen, the living room, everything. Because if the first thing you do is unpack like your router and you set up your internet, it's going to be a long time before you get everything else done. And it's really frustrating to me when I see other people like they've been moved in for over a year and they still have a bunch of boxes. It's like, oh, yeah, I'll get to it. No, no, you won't. You won't, because you clearly don't need it. Or if you do, like you root through the box to get the single thing that you need and you walk off because you're not in the mood to unpack it right now, and you're never gonna be. So, if you move somewhere new, I highly recommend the last thing you do is hook up your internet. Like honestly, unpack all your stuff, get it where you want it, and then when all the boxes are done and emptied out, then you can hook up your internet. Because the second you can get to the internet, that's going to be your priority. Okay, not always, but the majority of the time that's what it's going to be. Okay. 43. What was the funniest way that you have been injured? Okay, so I know I've already talked about this story before, and I spent a long time talking about it before. Anyways, my mom and I were in Japan at the dining room table. I stood up and I was walking around the table to go to her, and I jammed the outside of my left foot into our step dresser. And by outside, I mean like my baby toes. And so my last three toes curled in, and I hit the top of my foot, right just above the toe joints. Like I had a huge bruise on the top of my foot, on my baby toes, and before my baby toes. And then, like a day or two later, I had a gigantic blue and purple bruise on the bottom of my foot, on like the sole of my foot. So the bruise on the top of my foot was by my toes. And if you go 2 inches down, that is where the bruise on the bottom of my foot was. And so my mom and I were like, that doesn't look good. Like, it could just be a popped blood vessel, but it hurts for me to walk, and it's like black, blue, and purple. It does not look good. We went to the emergency room, and the doctor straight up was like, you're lying. What did you step on? And I was like, no, I didn't step on anything. Y'all, my mom was there when it happened, and she went with me to the emergency room, and she was like, no, I was there when it happened. That's what happened. And they're like, okay. And then eventually they're like, okay, maybe you popped a blood vessel, blah, blah, blah. I had to wear a boot for a little while. It was uncomfortable. I was in pain. It eventually healed, and I'm okay now. 44. If your life was a movie, what songs would be on the soundtrack? Oh gosh, I had a couple good ones. Let's see. Okay, well, already, obviously, Walking on Sunshine. Yeah. Happy. That's a good one. Because I'm happy. Yeah, it fits me. And then, what did I say? I said Just Breathe by Faith Hill for, like, my asthma period. Like, or, like, when my asthma was really bad. Because I feel like if someone is going to make my life into a movie, they're going to talk about when my asthma was really bad. Because that was a big part of my life. And if that one doesn't work, what did I say? Oh, Hold On by Wilson Phillips. Hold on for one more day. Like, it's good, Those are the kind of, like, upbeat songs. It's good. It's good. And I think I only came up with 4 because I was like, yeah, I'm like a third of the way through a 12-track soundtrack. 45. What TV catchphrase do you most enjoy using? So I didn't have an answer for this before, and I don't have an answer for this now. I don't really do catchphrases. I don't The only catchphrase I could think of was "Nine Nine" for the Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and is that even really a catchphrase? But the only time I use it is when David and I are watching it, so it doesn't really work. 46. What terrible movie do you love? So, if I love a movie, I don't think it's terrible. Like that's just the gist of it. Like I know a lot of people don't like Prince of Persia and they think it's a terrible movie. I freaking love that movie. Like I love it so much. It's great. So, I don't think it's terrible. Um yeah, like I don't know, my thing is I don't care what the critics think and I don't care what other people think. If I like a movie, I like a movie. I'm not going to let someone else's idea of the movie influence me and change my decisions. If I love it, I love it. If it makes me happy, that's all that matters. And you should feel the same way. 47. What song do you have to sing along with when you hear it? Pretty much any Disney song that I know. Yeah. It's really hard for me to not sing along with a Disney song. 48. What game are you really good at? I used to be good at Super Mario Brothers Wii, but like I have a hard time now holding the run button. And so like I would constantly hold the run button. Like I would just always be running when I played before, and I jump while still running, and I when he lands, he's still running, and it's a lot more difficult for me to do that now. I don't think I have lost anything with my fingers because I'm still cross stitching and doing all this, but I just can't. I just can't do it the way I used to. And it happens. It's fine. But yeah. And then David recently upgraded to an iPhone. Here it is. He plays dots, which is just connecting dots. And if you can make a square, it'll get all of the dot colors of that same color off the board. So the timed one, I'm not good at. And I'm not good when I'm being timed in a video game. I'm just not. I freak out, I get nervous, and then I screw up. But the number of moves, when you have 30 moves, my score is significantly higher than David's. When I have time to think and strategize, I can do really well. But yeah, as soon as you pop in a timer, I'm always just like, I'm gonna die. Like even games that I've played for a while, like if you pop on Ocarina of Time, and it's that little quest where you have to get, gosh, what was it, the fish eyes to the potion shop, and then you have to get that to, I'm skipping a step, you have to get something to somewhere else. Oh, something to the Lost Woods, and then you have to go from the Lost Woods to Gerudo, the Gerudo Valley. Whatever that timed one was, I want to say it starts with King's Aura. I know I can do it, and I know I can do it with plenty of time, and I still get nervous because there's a timer. As soon as you pop in a timer, my heart rate just jacks up, and I'm like, oh no, I'm being timed, and it makes me so nervous. So yeah, that was random. My bad. 49. Which movie do they need to make a sequel to? So, I would love a sequel to Prince of Persia. I would love to see how Prince Dastan has to, get to Mia to love him again. I would totally be down for that. I totally, absolutely. And the fact that Jake Gyllenhaal is incredibly attractive doesn't play a part. Except it does. But I mean, I feel like it would be a very different movie because that one would definitely be geared significantly more towards romance versus the original was action. But it's always annoyed me when sequels are basically just copies of the original. Like, what was the point? Especially if the original was better. I'd rather just rewatch the original. So I do think having a new idea for a sequel is better than just rehashing the same stuff over and over. But I don't know what other movie I want a sequel to. I don't know. Like, I'd love to see a sequel to what is it called? Um I'm blanking. Leonardo DiCaprio and bending time and space. I have to look it up. I'm dying. Inception. Okay, I started googling Leonardo DiCaprio, and for whatever reason, seeing his face made me remember the name of the movie. I don't care if it involves the same characters or if it's completely brand new. I think going back to that idea could be really fun, and it'd be really interesting to watch. And now I'm at the end, so that's all that I've got for this one. And sorry there was no sound on the last one. I promise I recorded some.
And that is the end of Christmas Minis Penguin. I don't know how I managed this, but it took me 3 hours and 44 minutes, which is how much the snowman took me. So, I don't know.
Suspicious.
I know, right?
Fake!
Like, the amount of seconds differ, but I just round with the seconds, so
How dare you?
I'm not gonna waste my time with that crap. So cute. He's adorable. Alright, I don't have anything else to add. I'm kind of hungry, so I'm gonna get some food. Like, subscribe, share, comment, all that jazz. And I'll see you guys next video.